We are at speaker number 4, and we're going to have Kai Wang speak about using AI for innovation, research, and practice. So Kai, thank you for joining us today. What do you have to share with us?
Thank you, Gerard, for this opportunity. So you put a lot of effort into this and really do a great service for us. Thank you and your team very much. And thank other speakers for great talk and great insights. So today, let me share a bit of my learnings and opinions about this topic of research and practical implications with regard to using generative AI for innovation. I am Kai, and I am from the company AI Asia, which I founded. So I've been studying creativity and innovation for the last 15 years, and I find generative AI to be a major disruptive force in this field. And I believe some academic research can provide a bit of insight. Now, this is obviously just a quick peek, but let's see where we can dig up. So one of the first key questions that I hear a lot is exactly how creative AI really is, because we have seen so much of AI generated content, right? So exactly, is AI more creative than humans now? Let's take a look at some empirical studies. So here is one study published in Scientific Reports, which is a top journal. And basically, researchers compared 3 chatbots with people, and in terms of their ability to generate ideas. And a specific creative task is to come up with alternative uses of common objects such as ropes, right? So imagine if you give an answer of, I'm going to use a rope for, let's say, hanging stuff, right? You would get a low creativity score. And if you say, I'm going to use a rope for burning, then it's a slightly more creative answer. So based on expert evaluation, here's the result. On average, AI's ideas were assessed to be more creative than people's. And even their best ideas from AI also were evaluated to be either equally or more creative than people's ideas. So I think this is the first academic study that I have seen in a top journal showing AI beating humans in a creativity test. So this is a milestone. Now, does that mean AI is more creative than people? And I think probably we cannot make that conclusion yet, because this is just one test. And there's a chance that AI has already seen this test before, because basically AI has seen most things on the internet. So we cannot make that conclusion yet, but it shows really the potential of how creative AI could become, right? And by the way, ChatGPT-4 is the best chatbot tested in terms of creativity. Now let's take a look at a task that is more realistic, because we don't really come across a problem of coming up with alternative uses, right? So let's talk about a creative task where people need to come up with business ideas. So in this Harvard research, basically there was an open call, and people with internet access would be able to submit business ideas with regard to sustainable and circular economy. And they basically compete for a $1,000 prize. And of course, the researchers also asked GPT-4 for business ideas in this field. And long story short, AI solutions had higher environmental impact and financial return assessed by the experts, but human solutions appear to be more innovative. So in other words, as powerful as GPT-4 is, we could still potentially compete in the level of innovativeness if we have a large group of diverse people. So anyway, we see that AI can be generating really useful ideas in this case, and human can generate some innovative ideas. Now, keep in mind though, so far the AI has only been used in its original form. In other words, there was not too much of prompt engineering or fine tuning and so on and so forth, right? So it could have even more potential. Let's move on to the next topic, which is how exactly do we use AI to promote innovation? And we can think of in different ways. So on the strategic level, we can think of the impact of AI on business model. So this is a study published in Review of Managerial Science. Anyway, long story short, we could consider the impact of AI in these three aspects. As an example, if you are an entrepreneur in mental health area, right, you want to use technologies to improve mental health issues. We could think of what new capabilities or new processes you can bring in with AI. So for example, you can think of new capabilities such as AI-powered diagnostics, AI-powered personalized treatment plans, or virtual mental health support, right? Or you can think of new processes such as AI-supported documentation and scheduling. And we could also think of the new propositions, meaning new product, new service, or new markets, such as AI-powered apps, AI-powered mental health platforms, or self-help courses, and so on. And the third aspect is new revenue model or new cost structure, right? So for example, with an AI-powered app, maybe now we can think of subscription model or freemium model instead of having the traditional way of patients paying doctors for each session, right? So there's new revenue models can be involved. And we can also look at the problem-solving level, right? So in terms of problem-solving, how might AI help us in exploring problems? And there are some studies suggesting that, and I'm pretty sure people are doing that already. So AI is really good at doing some quick research, right? For example, you can dig up information about your industry, your competitors, their product, their service, their price. And you can also dig up Amazon review and maybe summarize that and find out the sentiment and find out what's the best features that people like. And that can be done by just, some pretty quick prompting through generative AI. So that is helping us think through the problem. And in addition to that, we can also use AI to help us generating ideas or solutions. And by the way, Dr. Eben is a leading expert in this area, and he proposed this method called tri-association, which is connecting three different concepts to develop a new idea. So here's a piece of chocolate that I find very, very appealing, right? I would buy it. And it is connecting three concepts of elephants, butterfly, and of course, chocolate. And using the generative AI, and particularly in this, using its ability to connect different things and also visualize it, is really a very powerful way of expanding our thinking and potentially help us break fixation. So instead of keep doing the same thing over and over, it may bring a new perspective. And there are other ways to promote or improve our idea generation using generative AI. For example, TRIZ, which is Theory of Inventive Problem Solving, is a systematic methodology that is based on analysis of millions of patents throughout global patent databases. And basically, it summarizes different kind of techniques or mechanisms for invention. And as an example, there's so-called a principle of segmentation. And the thing here is that AI actually has pretty decent knowledge of these general methods. So you could ask AI, okay, what is this principle of segmentation in TRIZ? And AI can tell you. And as an example of segmentation, right, modular furniture is designed in a way that has independent components, right? So with a furniture being modular, it's much, much easier to, for example, expand your furniture or downsize your furniture or fix it, because if something's broken, just take it out and replace it with a different part. So that's an example of segmentation. And because AI has a decent knowledge of all these things, we could just ask AI, okay, take this principle and apply it to my problem. What kind of ideas do you have, right? And another technique that is pretty straightforward now is that we know AI can take, persona, right? Or take a different perspective. So for example, we can simply ask AI, okay, generate some ideas for this problem that Einstein would think of, or Steve Jobs would think of, right? So it will help us break out of our habits and think in a more fresh way. As an example here, so imagine if we go back in time for 60 some years, and at that time, people, NASA specifically, sent astronauts into space for the first time, and there was a major issue, that is the astronauts couldn't really write in space because pens don't work in space, right? Because there's no gravity. And we could ask, for example, ChatGPT, okay, how might we make a pen work in space, right? And ChatGPT tells you this, and that's actually what a company did 60 years ago. They spent $1 million and developed this space pen. But we could also ask AI to, redefine the problem first, right? Because we don't have to ask question this way. What if we ask a question of how can astronaut write without gravity, right? So it's a different problem as opposed to improving the pen. And if we ask how astronauts can write, it turns out we can use pencils, Sharpies, or tablets with stylus pens. And if we ask AI, okay, what would Elon Musk think of, right? And maybe because of Elon Musk has a company, Neuralink, it would think of neural interface, which is a very fancy idea, but it's really sort of tapping into the mind of Elon Musk. And we can see how powerful and useful AI is in improving our creative thinking, but I want to emphasize the risk of doing that a bit too much. So what I mean by that? So AI is able to come up with ideas, maybe help us understand problems and so on and so forth. That's all great. But let's think of the risks that can be involved. If we do that too much, right? So here's the risk. We do need a lot of human expertise to use AI. So if you want to do, for example, original research, it turns out that you would need a lot of expertise to be able to get the best outcome out of AI. And for us to have a lot of expertise, we need a lot of practice, right? If we delegate too much to AI, it may not help us build the expertise. And more importantly, perhaps, innovation is much more than ideas, right? So we also need to implement ideas, and we also need to persuade other people of the value of our ideas. And for that to happen, actually, people are naturally more willing to implement our own ideas or persuade others of our own ideas. So if all ideas we get is out of AI, it may not be as exciting, or you may not be as motivated to do it, right? So for all those reasons, I believe that as powerful as AI is, we should use AI in innovation. But we need to keep in mind that we still need to develop our own innovation skills first, and we should always be in the driver's seat in this effort. And we also probably would be better off to learn from AI. In other words, instead of being just a passive consumer, we should actually learn from AI. If you find something great about AI, learn from it, and we get better over time. So based on that belief, this is what our company does. So we provide innovation consulting and soft skill training, and we help people think more creatively with or without AI, and we help people improve their soft skills with or without AI. And the thing here is that, like I said, there's a risk of depending too much on AI, right? So in this process, even though we know all kinds of tricks of using AI, and we do teach that, we want to emphasize that in the process, we want to build the skills instead of, delegating all the things to AI and lose our own motivation, lose our own skills, and become totally dependent on it. So I think that's a better approach moving forward, especially AI is so powerful and getting even more powerful. So thank you very much for your attention. And I believe we all share this passion in innovation and AI, and I will be more than happy to connect on LinkedIn. Thank you again, and look forward to talking to some of you later. Thank you.